Hey everyone, Cleo here, and today we're talking about my September TBR. Now in September I'm taking part in 3 readathons, okay? So I'm taking part in Series September, which is organized by Books and Jam. It is co-hosted by somebody, but I forgot at the moment by whom. Then I'm taking part in the Magical Readathon by G from Book Roast, and then I'm taking part in Becca's Bookoplathon by Becca and the Books. So 3 readathons, it could be interesting, but more interesting, I guess, is that my TBR was set before I even knew about the prompts for all of these, but we will make it work. The good thing is that, for Series September, I'm not going to try to finish the bingo board, for example. So I'm going to do all the prompts that fit my TBR, and then potentially throughout the month I'll read some extra stuff and I might actually end up completing a bingo or not. Then for Magical Readathon, you only need to finish 2 prompts in order to succeed. And I have 3 books on my TBR that fit the prompt, so I should be able to complete Magical Readathon without any problems. And then for Becca's Bookoplathon, I am going to roll as I go, meaning that basically there is no way for me to fail, I guess. I will be getting 1 book every single time, and I don't have a specific number of books that I want to get around to. However, rolling as I go means that I need to fit in those 4 books on my TBR based off of what the rolls are going to give me. So it is still potentially the case that that is going to severely mess up my other TBRs. So in this video I'm going to go through my 4 books that I have put on my TBR. I'll explain how they fit into the Magical Readathon. I'll explain how they can serve for Series September, and then at the end of this video I'm gonna do my first roll for Becca's Bookoplathon, so I'll decide at that point what my first read is going to be in the month of September. So in September I am still gonna just put 4 books on there. I had for the first half of the year been putting 5 books on my TBR, and I changed that in August, and I actually really liked the pacing of my August month, plus the books on my September TBR are all quite chunky. The first one that I'm going to mention here is super chunky, but I actually don't have that much to go in it anymore. And so that is going to be Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. So this is 1,200 plus pages, so humongous book, but I only will have around 200, under 300 in any case, pages to go in this one. So I am currently some 890 pages into it, so I'm already quite far into it, but I am pre-filming this as I'm leaving on holiday for the final week of August, so by the end of August I should get to about the 1,000 page mark. So Les Miserables, in case you don't know it, it is a 19th century French classic written by Victor Hugo. It is basically all about the injustice at work in Paris at that time. So we are following Jean Valjean, who used to be a convict. However, he was convicted for something as simple as stealing a piece of bread when he was hungry. He was convicted to years of being a slave on board a galley ship, and he tried to escape a few times, and that just extended his sentence more and more. So in the end, he was in that ship for 19 years. 19 of his years of his life were lost that way. And when he was released with a yellow passport, which is the passport that ex-convicts get. And that also means that from that moment onwards, whenever he is needing to present his passport, people will treat him differently, and basically his opportunities in life are so slim because of that status of being an ex-convict. There's a lot more to the story. If you know the musical, then this will be that same story. However, it is expanded upon a whole lot, obviously. And I actually really enjoy the original version. I really enjoy the extra depth that we get to, for example, the character of Marius specifically. Now, I will say that there are some parts to this that drag severely, and that this is the worst beginning to a book ever, because this book is divided in 5 parts, and each part starts with a boring part. Every part, the first book in each part is why? Why are you dragging on about this or that? But when we get to the actual storyline, I am always very intrigued, very hooked. I like the way it is narrated, so I would definitely say that I highly recommend it so far. Interested to see what else we will be doing with this story in the concluding part of this novel, which I will get to in September. Next up, in the beginning of the year, I set myself certain series that I wanted to get around to, and I already timed them out. So for September, I have The Bands of Mourning by Sanderson. So I will be continuing on with Mistborn Error 2, and I will be caught up to Mistborn Error 2 after the month of September. So this is the continuation series to the Mistborn series, and as a result I cannot really say too much about it, except that it is set in the same world as Mistborn, but it's set like centuries later, so it's more an industrial area, steampunk type of setting. And the story itself is more like detective style story, very much more centered around action than the original series was, but there are a whole lot of Easter eggs hidden within the text towards the original series as well, so I would definitely recommend that you read Mistborn Error 2 after Mistborn Error 1. In principle they stand quite separate from one another, but because of those Easter eggs I would definitely say it's worth more if you read it afterwards. Also, the magic system itself is really like not expanded upon enough in this one. It very much relies on the fact that you are a reader who have already been introduced to this magic system in Mistborn Error 1. I am still making my way through the second one, so I cannot really say what my opinion about it is now. So far, I'm still of the opinion that this is a great fun ride, and I do love the characters. But it is never going to be like my favorite entry. It's not going to be my favorite Sanderson book. It is just like fun ride, great entertainment, which is also fun from time to time, but it's not going to end up on like my favorite fantasy series list. Unless the second half of the second book or this third book surprise me, of course. Another book that I had set myself out for the month of September is Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. I cannot tell you much about that because this is the second book in a series, second book in the Gentleman Bastard series. The first book, The Lies of Locke Lamora, is one that I need to finish in August, and it is the one that I still need to start. So I will repeat what I said in my August TBR. So Gentleman Bastard series, I only know that it is a fantasy series that is often referred to as people's favorite fantasy series. It supposedly has a great fantasy at its center. It is heist focused, and I mentioned in my August TBR that I thought it was like piratey as well, that it had like pirates, but I was contradicted in that video saying that it is not the first book, The Lies of Locke Lamora, that has pirates in it, but the second book, Red Seas Under Red Skies, that one will have more pirate setting, that one will have the pirates storyline. So I don't know yet what my opinion is about The Lies of Locke Lamora. I don't know whether I'm going to go into Red Seas Under Red Skies with trepidation or whether I'm going to be super excited to be continuing or not. But like almost every single comment I got on my previous TBR was about The Lies of Locke Lamora and about how they loved that book so much. So I'm very hopeful that I will love it and that I will like be super excited about continuing in the month of September. And then the final book that is on my TBR is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. So this is another fantasy series that I'm starting. I don't foresee continuing on with the series throughout the remainder of the year. It is just that it is a physical fantasy book that I need to get off of my TBR because I want to reduce my TBR to 0. But so The Blade Itself is the first book in the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and I also about this one don't remember too much. I know it is grimdark fantasy. I know that it is very character focused, and I think that, a lot of people say the first book is basically about nothing. Basically nothing happens. It's basically solely character work. And that actually really appeals to me. I am very much a character focused reader, and so the idea of having a fantasy setting but having like some deep exploration into a character really intrigues me. There is also disability representation within this one, because I think, this one here, Inquisitor Glokta, which is a name that I hear mentioned a lot in reviews of this book, so I think that that is a positive. He is a cripple turned torturer. I am ready to root for a character like that. So I am hopeful for this series. I definitely hope to fall in love with this. It has like 2 trilogies, I think, so it's 6 books, I think, within this First Law world, and so hopefully I will absolutely love this one, but not so much that I want to immediately continue, because that will kind of be difficult considering what else I still need to read this year. But so, final book on my TBR. And now I realize that I didn't do what I said I was going to do, which is mentioning why they fit in with the Readathons that I am participating in. This is a problem I have every month, so I'm already happy that I'm mentioning it now, but every other month I've been like, oh yeah, right, I didn't mention the Readathons and I just forget about it, but we are doing so now. So first, prompt is to read a book with a map. For that one, I'm reading The Bands of Mourning, which has a map at the beginning. That is for the novice path entrance. Then the second one that can fit me, I guess this one I can actually fit in as well. So that would be The Ash-Torn Tree, a book that keeps tempting you, or that is at the top of your TBR. I will say that I haven't been super tempted recently because I knew I was gonna get around to it. I think I put this on this TBR like 6 months ago already, but it has been one that I've been dying to pick up in the past. I've put it on TBRs multiple times as well, so I'm super happy to finally get around to this one. Then we have The Mist of Solitude, read a standalone. For this one I will be reading, it's too heavy, Les Miserables, and then read a book featuring ghosts or haunted house, do not have that. Read a thriller or mystery book, do not have that. Read a 5-star prediction. I think The Blade itself was my 5-star prediction. So The Blade itself can be for one of these two prompts, and that is going to be it. I do not have a book with a school setting. So that is going to be it for the Magical Readathon, the novice path. You also do have to build like a character, but I don't think that I'll have like prompts for that particular part within this month. You are able to build your character up until April when the next round of the Magical Readathon starts. So I might, depending on how my month goes, start building that character, but it's also possible for the next months. Then for series September, so there are 9 prompts, but I will be completing 5 of them, I think. So for starting a series, I have The Blade itself. Then I do not have 2 books in the same series. Newest series purchase, that would be The Bands of Mourning, which I purchased in July. Then a series that is longer than 5 books, don't have that. Finishing a series, I am counting this one, this is catching up to a series, which is the same, right? Second book in a series, that is Red Seas Under Red Sky. Book in a duology, do not have that. Most recently started series, well, that would be Red Seas Under Red Skies, or The Blade itself. I guess it is Red Seas Under Red Skies, right? Because The Blade itself is for starting a series. And then series started more than a year ago. I do not have that, or at least not on this TBR yet. And then it's time to roll for Becca's Bookoplathon. I'm kind of worried about that part. So I have 4 books on my TBR. I know that Becca's Bookoplathon is definitely going to mess up my TBR throughout the month of September, but will it already do that before the month is even started? So, in other words, can I fit in one of these 4 books for the first prompt that I get? Worried. So I don't have a pawn to move yet, so we're just gonna use that flower, and I'm also just filming on my phone for the moment because I'm lazy, I guess. And the board is just like cut out like this on A3 format, and I am just going to be drawing my dice on my sofa, I guess. But yeah, hopefully this still manages to be a decent shot. Yeah, that was to be expected, I guess. So I'm doing this. Yeah, cat. So we have we've got some interest from my cat. I'm going to be rolling it onto my bullet journal because I'm going to be rolling it onto my reading journal because it really didn't work to roll it onto my sofa, but now my 2 cats are interested. All right, 7, not a double, already perfect. Oh no, come on. So it landed on chance, meaning these guys over here. So in the chance pile are 5 books. I did put 2 short stories in there. So luck would have it that I have that one, but let's see. Swing time, so I do not get a short story. All right, so I got a chance card, meaning I was not able to fit in my TBR because I specifically didn't put my TBR books into the chance pile. but I was kind of hoping that I wasn't gonna get the chance card, but okay. So I got Swing Time by Zadie Smith. I will say I know nothing about this. So Zadie Smith is a Black author from the UK, I think. I have 2 books by her on my shelves. 2 books that really intrigued me, and I'm assuming Swing Time is about the Jazz Age. Set in London, New York and West Africa, Swing Time is about 2 brown girls from Willesden who dream of being dancers. Only one, Tracy, has the talent, but the other has ideas which take her further than she could ever have imagined. It is a story of finding happiness in the meanest of places and feeling sad when all around you are happy. It is about the choices we make and the choices made for us. Above all, it's a tale of the friendships that anchor us, define us, and change us forever. So I do like the idea of a story about friendship, about, you know, the dance world. I used to dance. And so I am interested in that sense, of course, otherwise it wouldn't still be on my TBR after a few unhaul sessions. But it is one of those that I never gravitate towards, and it is already a 450-page book extra on my TBR. So, how is the rest of this month gonna go? I really fear for what the board is gonna do to me throughout the month, because as you see, I have some range of possibility based off of the prompts on Bookoplathon board, but if I cannot fit in one of my 4 books, then I am definitely gonna be struggling to finish my 4-book TBR in the month of September. And it is no longer a 4-book TBR, my 5-book TBR. But so yeah, I will be vlogging throughout September. I do still have some vlogs for August that might go up in September, but I will be vlogging 2 weeks at a time. I have been doing so for part of August, and I've actually preferred doing 2 weekly vlogs rather than a 1 weekly vlog. So I'm going to be continuing like that in September, and then you can see me go through my roles as the month progresses and see what the board is going to throw my way in a month. But so yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books, what your thoughts are on them. Are you participating in any readathons in September? And if so, are you participating in the same ones? Some of these very much are doing the rounds, and a lot of people on BookTube will be participating in those. But Series September definitely also sounds like a fun way to, you know, prioritize series. In my case, I was just already going to do so this year, so it just fit in really well with my reading. But in case you need a little bit of a push, I would definitely say go and check out that video. All of the details for all the readathons will be in the description down below. But so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you guys for a future one. Bye!